A very warm welcome to the programme. The United States and the European Union are set to impose additional sanctions on Russia today in response to allegations of Russian war crimes in Ukraine. The White House says the US will ban new investment in Russia and place further sanctions on its banks and on the families of Kremlin officials. The EU, meanwhile, may ban imports of Russia's coal and prevent its ships from using EU ports. Images at the weekend from the town of Bucha following the retreat of Russian forces showed the bodies of civilians lying in the streets. Ukrainian human rights officials now say a mass grave near a church may contain as many as 300 bodies. Yogita Lamai has returned to the town, sent this report.
Destruction and death are expected during a conflict. But what's happened in Bucha violates the rules of war and of humanity. Irina Abramova lived peacefully here with her husband until the 5th of March. Then a Russian tank pulled up outside. Their home was shelled. As it was burning, Russian soldiers shouted, calling the couple outside.
They wanted to know where the Nazis are. They said we have an evil government with Nazis in it, and we should be punished for it. I said we're not guilty, we're just humans.
Minutes later, her husband Oleg, a 40-year-old welder, was shot in the head. Russia saying it's not killed civilians deliberately in Ukraine. What do you want to say about that?
Що ви можете сказати на це? Який меседж ви хочете?
Мене чоловік навіть не служив в армії.
My husband wasn't a soldier. He'd never held a gun. He was a peaceful man. They took him from our home in his slippers, asked him to take his shirt off, made him kneel on the ground and killed him.
Це не люди. Це звірі.
She wears Oleg's wedding band around her neck. She says it's all she has left of him now, along with the shirt and sweater he was wearing the day he died.
Я хочу, щоб весь світ знав.
I wanted the whole world to know that the Russians are killers. They're not human. They're killing women, children, civilians.
She shows us the spot outside their home where Oleg was killed. Bloodstains still visible, where his body lay for weeks.
He was the best man in the world. He was kind and caring. He was the love of my life. I could give anything to bring him back.
The more you talk to people in Bucha, the more you learn of the terror that this town lived through. A local resident told us that a woman riding a bicycle was shot on this street. In a house down this road, a man was trapped in his basement for weeks without much food. He dared not go anywhere because there was a Russian tank standing outside. In the backyard of a church in Bucha, the bodies of people who died here continue to pile up in a shallow trench. Ukrainian and Russian soldiers and ordinary people, together in a single grave. More than 300 civilians have been killed here. Only a few have so far had the dignity of a proper burial. Yogita Lamai, BBC News, Bucha.